Hello gamers, Benign Chaos here, back from a fairly long hiatus due to me being sick and busy, and then E3 happening, which meant that I was watching conferences every day of that week and just reading and all that cool jazz. But I'm back, and I just want to talk about some of the stuff that I found interesting over the last couple of weeks this time. So there's a lot of stuff to catch up on, and my opinions on all of this stuff has kind of dulled because time has passed. So I'm pretty much just going to run through the list of things that I wrote down over the last couple of weeks of the stuff that I found interesting. Obviously, everything that was announced at E3, was really interested in pretty much the same things that most people were interested in. Watch Dogs looked amazing, where you play as I guess a modern day assassin, using computers, hacking computers and the net to find out about people and use them. The gameplay for The Last of Us for PS3 looked amazing. This is the new game from Naughty Dog, and it's neat to see humans, so it's not just going to be against zombies, but you're also going to be fighting against people. And the one thing that really popped out at me when they showed this at E3 was the fact that the enemy could hear when you had run out of bullets. So I hope that there are a lot of nice little touches like that in the game, but I guess here's hoping to that. And Beyond Two Souls was really great, and it's kind of funny to see Ellen Page in two games. I thought that Heavy Rain was a really cool game, but not entirely my thing. I look forward to seeing if Beyond Two Souls will be more up my alley, but obviously they haven't shown much of the gameplay. I believe most people are saying that it's going to be very similar gameplay to Heavy Rain, but just different focus of the storyline, more supernatural stuff, which is good because I like supernatural stuff. And the Wii U was really cool to me. I think a lot of people were disappointed, and I can see why. There was a lot of potential to show off some cool stuff, especially that the new game from Retro Studios. There was the rumor floating around that it was going to be a Star Fox Metroid crossover, but Retro Studios ended up not showing anything, which kind of sucked. But I thought that what they did show of the Wii U looked pretty cool. Specifically the Wii U Miiverse. It looked a little childish, but it was almost heartwarming to see that Nintendo was finally taking advantage of the internet. And based on what I've seen, if they do it right, this could be better than PSN, say. The only thing that I didn't see, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong on this, is personal messaging. Everything seemed to be messaging on forums, but they didn't show a way to send personal messages. I would assume that that's in, but I wouldn't take anything for granted. Also, the games that they showed were pretty cool. Nintendo Land, I hope, will be packaged in with the Wii U, at least at some point. It's not something that I'd be excited to pay for on its own, but it looks like it could be fun. Zombie U looked really cool. Definitely not up my alley. I'm not a zombie person, typically, and that looked just scary as all hell. So I doubt I'd get it, but it looked like it would be fun, brought a lot to the table, and hopefully we see more games like that seem to use the functionality of the tablet, because I think there's a lot of potential there. I'm definitely looking forward to the Wii U. Project P100, I keep trying to say P1000. P100, the new game by Platinum Games, which has a great track record, is coming to the Wii U. That looks pretty cool. Looks like it could be pretty chaotic. And Lego City Undercover, it's been a long time since I've been into anything Lego, but that actually looked pretty fun. I cannot lie. So I'll definitely be keeping an eye out on that one. It looked like it was just silly, stupid fun. And then on the side, they announced that Fire Emblem Awakening would be coming out in North America, which I was incredibly happy about. Kind of confused why that wasn't an announcement or anything, but I guess the game's been out for a while, so hard to show off at a conference when it's not entirely new. But just knowing that it's going to come out makes me very, very happy because I am a big Fire Emblem fan at this point. Other stuff that's happened recently, or at least since I last posted a video, the Binding of Isaac DLC came out. I tried it briefly, but I'm a big fan of The Binding of Isaac. This is a game on you can get on Steam for PC and I believe Mac. It's a sort of like a Zelda game, but you shoot, and you get one go at going through the dungeon. If you die, you have to start over again. You get all sorts of items that make you more powerful throughout the game. And the DLC adds, if I remember correctly, 1 or 2 new characters, some new bosses, some new areas, items, stuff like that. And I've already found some new content just from playing through it 2 times. I've never actually beat Binding of Isaac because I suck at it, but it's a fun game. I definitely like it. There's been news of Dark Souls having DLC, which I kind of did not expect. I have Dark Souls, another game that I have not gotten very far in, but I don't know how I feel about Dark Souls getting DLC. I'll have to find out what's in it, but you can probably tell I'm not particularly enthused about DLC. About DLC on the whole, so not particularly pleased that that's getting DLC. In addition to Fire Emblem, it's been announced that Code of Princess is coming out on the 3DS in North America. This is from the developers that made Guardian Heroes on the Sega Saturn, and that's a game that I've always wanted to play and never got a chance to. And I'm very happy that this one's coming over. It looks like it could be a lot of fun. The only thing that I'm not looking forward to is the seemingly simple button commands. This is not like your typical fighter where you put in directional commands and then a button to do special attacks. In this you get a weak attack, heavy attack, probably a grab or a guard or something like that. So I kind of wish that there were directional commands, but hey, it doesn't have to be like every other game, the genre or genres surrounding it. So I'll abstain from judging based on that news alone. Zone of the Enders 3, I believe, or at least some Zone of the Enders in the series, was announced. Don't know what platform, but this gets me excited as, anything really. I love Zone of the Enders. I can't remember how many times I played through the second one. I remember having days where I just sat down and played through it as many times as I could. Beautiful, beautiful game. Love the music, love the feel, just going fast. Not like for anyone that doesn't know what Zone of the Enders is, first of all, shame on you. Second of all, these were Zone of the Enders 1 and Zone of the Enders the Second Runner were PS2 games where you controlled large robots. Specifically, you controlled one robot, Jehuti, which could basically fly freely and would float, and is very fast, comes equipped with a gun in its hand, not really a gun, it's like a blaster, and a sword attached to its arm. And you'd fly around, you could dash, and just cut up enemies, shoot enemies very fast. You could grab them, throw them, guard with them. Just a very stylized mecha action. Not like your typical mecha, which would be slower, a lot more plodding. This definitely had its own feel, closer to Virtual On if I was to compare it to anything. But again, in free flight, so you had even more freedom than you did in Virtual On. And I loved the feeling of those two games, so I'm definitely looking forward to this third one. Hope it's on PS3, but I'll take it on anything. I don't often say this, but if this game comes out on one console or handheld I don't have, I'd probably get that console or handheld. In other news, Mighty Switch Force on 3DS got an update, which I did get to try. Came with 5 new levels and a updated 3D effect. The new 3D effect is definitely noticeable. I don't know if it really, enhances it. It just increases the depth of field. But the new levels are definitely an added bonus because while Mighty Switch Force is a great game, it doesn't have very many levels, and 5, I think there are a total of 20 stages, so adding 5 is significant, and they're pretty good stages, they're quite challenging. That's most of what I wanted to talk about. The only other two things, one is only slightly game related and the other is very game related. So I'll start off with the slightly game related one. This is a comic that I recently bought. I went to a convention and I bought 3 books called Problem Sleuth. I wouldn't be surprised if no one seeing this video has ever heard of Problem Sleuth. This is a series of books. I have them sitting right above me. Let me see if I can't take a look at them. It's 3 books right now. I think there should be a 4th one coming out because it's to be continued by the end of the 3rd one. But these are comics by a guy named Andrew Hussey. Probably pronouncing that wrong. But they are so hilarious. Now, it will obviously seem like I'm going on a tangent talking about comics and books and stuff, but one thing to note about these comics is that they're written in the style of retro PC adventure games from like the floppy disk era. Basically, each panel shows what you would see on screen, and then there's a description underneath it, and then it shows what you would type. The author says, oh, he predicts what you would have typed. But if you go to his website, you can actually read some of this online. So I definitely don't regret that I bought these, even after finding that you could read these for free online, which you can do at mspaintadventures.com, all one word. And you can read it all online, complete with some nifty little animations to the panels. And they're a lot of fun. I was reading these on the bus on the way to the convention on the 2nd day and on my way to work, and I was laughing and people were staring at me, and you know what, I couldn't stop myself. I just kept laughing and people kept staring. So this is very easy for me to recommend. There's some strong language here and there and a little bit of violence, but it's really silly, really goofy, and a lot of fun, very random. So go to mspaintadventures.com. The author, I think Problem Sleuth is his longest project right now, but he has other ones that are there, and they're just a riot. I would definitely recommend checking those out. The last thing that I wanted to talk about, and this is one that I feel somewhat strongly about, is the DLC, the latest DLC for Batman Arkham City. This is the Harley Quinn's Revenge DLC. And right up front, I'm going to tell you, do not download this if you haven't already. Because Arkham City was such a great game, I found it very tempting, and I think some of my friends found it very tempting to just assume that a great game would have great DLC. And there's no contesting in my mind that Arkham City was really, really something great. Harley Quinn's Revenge, on the other hand, was a pile of poop, in my opinion. Not only is it very short, it's about, I think it took me 2 hours to complete. At least it would have if I didn't die repeatedly, but that's my own fault because I suck at that game too. But it's very short, and what's worse, it adds nothing new to the game. You'll be fighting the same enemies you did before. You'll be fighting in very similar situations that you did before. The only really new things are that you get to see some more cutscenes with Robin, which you don't really get in the main story, and you get to take down Harley, which is very, very, very short-lived. And this adds nothing to the storyline. One of the things that really bothers me is that, yeah, Harley Quinn's got motivation for doing something, but she's not smart. You're not going to get a great master plan from her, and you don't get anything new. She's been in the game the whole time. If they had done this with a new, not even a new supervillain, but just one that had been featured less, or one that was not in the game at all, that would have been interesting to me. But you get the same, like, I love Harley Quinn. I think a lot of people love Harley Quinn. But I saw her so many times. I didn't need a DLC package surrounding her. I did not enjoy this. The price is like $10 or $11. And I say it's 2 hours long. And Journey was shorter than that. about as expensive, but that was easily worth it because that was all new stuff. There was a lot of effort put into all the content that went into that. Harley Quinn's Revenge has no effort put into it. It's just old scenarios with a slightly new twist. I would never ever recommend anyone even try it because it's just not worth the time. Just thinking about it kind of makes me irate, really. So yeah, don't don't get it. It's bad. Don't give them the money for making bad DLC packs and bad content. Okay, I might be stretching the truth here. It's not unplayable. It's just not new, and it's short, and it's expensive. So don't do it. I'm telling you right now, don't do it. If you do it, I'll be very mad. Even though I won't know, but I will know. So don't do it. Anyway, I've rambled. So thanks for watching, and I'll be getting back to my regular schedule. I'll try to do once a week videos, and I'll also be hoping to do a Let's Play of Pikmin 2. That's another thing. The fact that they're coming out with Pikmin 3, really cool, for Wii U. So I hope to be doing that. I just got Pikmin 2 on Wii, the new Play Control, and I'm looking forward to trying that, maybe getting a friend or my brother or something to play that with me on occasion. And I'll get back to these videos on a regular basis. So thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please rate, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.